But live from the dove field here, just gave you an update on the millet field, comprehensive update on the corn, some grass and weed control, updated you out here June 19th, dove field update, let's do it. Brought to you in part by Deep River Sporting Clays, safe, fun, family entertainment. And by these additional sponsors. June 19th, out here in the dove field, just to give you a quick update. Folks like the updates, so I wanted to bring that to you. But today is a very special, important day because we finally got rain last night. We got 1.5 inches of rain across Lee County and Chatham County. Finally got the rain we needed. And here we are in the millet field here. Just this week, we were starting to show some drought stress on the millet, which is very drought tolerant. So when your millet starts getting stressed out, you know you've got some dry weather conditions. But last night, 1.5 inches of rain, sun starting to come out. I really anticipate this field to make a huge jump, especially now that we got some rain. If you caught the planting video, you know we have planted 2 types of millet in this field. Dove Proso on this third of the field, and brown top millet on this other 2/3 of the field. I was curious if we were going to be able to tell a difference, and turns out you can. This left third is a touch taller and a touch darker, which I find very interesting. 2 millets planted at the exact same time, but I can see an ever so slight subtle difference between the two. Not that it's good or bad, it's just slightly different. It's not even been quite a month yet, and this millet is about 18 inches tall in here, and that's fairly uniform throughout all the Dove Proso. The brown top is slightly less high, and it's got a little bit of drought stress to it that I think stunted its growth a little bit, but even the brown top is pushing about 12 inches high. But about a month after planting, I'll drop the planting date right here to correct myself, but about a month after planting, finally got rainfall. This is actually the first measurable rainfall since we planted this millet. We planted this millet right behind some soil moisture. We had a little bit of rain that next day, but since then we've not had a drop of rain on this field until last night. It was definitely overdue for some water. And down here in this lower end where we get a little bit more moisture, you can tell it's doing even better. But I wanted to show you this thatch layer down here. This is what we had planted the millet into. It's retaining a lot of moisture right now. At this point, with 1.5 inches of rain, the millet this tall after a month, I think we'll be headed to seed here in no time. This will start showing seed at about 45 days. By 50 days, most of this is going to start to have seed on it. So I'm really excited here heading in the latter part of June. I think we're definitely going to see some seed in here by mid-July. Millet always seems to be kind of the ace in the hole. It's very bulletproof. It's usually very drought tolerant. It's also tolerant to very wet soils. I always have a millet field in my dove field no matter what. A lot can go wrong with sunflowers, a lot can go wrong with corn. But year after year, the millet always saves the day. It always seems like we have a productive millet field. This is the little micro Japanese millet plot I put in, and this had not seen a drop of rain since planting. So it is no surprise to see no growth in here. It was dry and dusty with 0 moisture in the soil. Now that we've had rain, I guarantee you this millet field right here is about to pop and explode. But the rain leveled it out nice and flat. It's gonna be a nice little accent here. We just didn't have any good corn production in here, so we tilled it all up. Came back here with some Japanese millet. I think it's gonna be a nice little pocket of millet down here for the birds. And although we did have kind of a flop on some areas of the corn, it's obvious in the background here that we have got a lot of very happy corn. We were starting to show some drought stress, but now with 1.5 inches of rain, you can tell the corn is responding very well this morning. It woke up to fresh rainfall, wet roots. It should be off to the races. I don't see any tasseling yet, but I bet about a week from now, we're gonna start seeing some tassels. I still have a concern over the corn drying out in time for dove season. It's sat in the dirt for 3 weeks dry without germination, which to me put us about 2 weeks behind schedule. So I'm really hoping that corn speeds up, gets to maturity so we can start drying out. That way it's dried out in time for the opener. As I walk around, we have decent grass control. There are some strips in here where I think I just missed with the sprayer. I don't have very accurate GPS equipment spraying out here. It's all by line of sight and then following my previous tracks. And you can always tell the areas that got hit good and the areas that I missed. So I definitely need to step up my game a little bit when it comes to my pre-emergence. Everywhere that the pre-emergent was applied, there is no grass. If I missed it, there seems to be all these little strips in here. Nothing that'll impact us at this point, because you can see the corn is now pushing 5 to 6 feet tall. In some areas, even taller. I want to go show you something. But overall, decent grass control in here, I would say, wherever the herbicide was applied. Some of this corn is tall. I am 6'4" in boots, and you can tell it's a couple feet almost taller than I am in some areas, which leads me to this guy, tallest plant in the field. He is tasseling out, and we have corn. The moment you're always waiting for. From the time you drill it in the ground, this is what you want to see. So we have got corn right here, a couple of nice stalks side by side. We got a few more doing the exact same thing down the way here. We are tasseling out. If you don't know, the tassels actually drop down and pollinate itself and pollinates its neighbors. So that's kind of cool. It's self-pollinating here, but we have got corn cobs July 19th, the moment we have been waiting for. And then once you get this much crop canopy, you can see it's nice and shaded down here. So that's going to help us retain moisture as well and suppress weed growth. You start getting your population right, you get a nice crop canopy. That's when you're really in the ball game in here, helping stimulate growth, snuff out the weed competition, start getting some really nice ears in here. So we got a lot of corn developing. This lowermost end has the best soil, has the best organic matter. I know this is the darkest soil in the field, being at the lower end, and well, of course, that's producing the nicest corn thus far. June 19th, we got corn, we got millet in that backfield, looking pretty good. In this one little pocket at the uppermost end where it's highest, driest, and rockiest, I don't think it's going to recover. Few of these may pop out of it, but I'm not having a whole lot of hope for this little corner here. Thankfully, it's just a very small portion of the field compared to the big picture, but I don't think this little corner is going to make it. Just too hot and too dry for too long, just not enough rain. Well, I have given you an update on the millet field. Now just gave you an update on the corn. June 19th, we are trending in a good direction. I'm just really hoping this corn makes out and dries out enough in time for the opener. This year's opener is delayed. It's September 5th, for those of you taking notes. So be careful, make sure to check on that, September 5th. It gives us a couple extra days of drying time for this corn, which is probably what we're going to need. This corn got a late start with all the drought. Trying to make up some ground here with some rain last night, but I think we're going to be cutting it close, so stay tuned to find out if we're going to make it. But I appreciate you guys watching and joining me for this quick update as we are on our way to July. We've got some nice stalks out here, and we are just now starting to get some corn. But until that next update video, appreciate you guys watching. As always, God bless and take care.